that I had to cut off my son's hair, it broke my heart. It devastated me. I remember sitting on the chair at home and I was crying. Tears was flowing down my face because I couldn't believe in these times people are still so ignorant.
That's right.
Ignorant to the fact of who we are and wicked to persecute a 12-year-old child. A 12-year-old child. To take him and put him in isolation and say, here, read the Bible.
Fire.
It's like he's not educated enough to read the Bible. It's like he doesn't know where he come from. We are black people. We are black Hebrew Israelite people. We are the chosen one. And we first and foremost, we are the true Rastafarians.
You didn't hear what I said. I said the Chinese people stick together and they make sure that they got Chinatown. Asian people stick together, whether the Asian man is a Sikh, a Hindu, a Muslim, it make no difference to the Asian man. He understands self-interest. But black people have been tricked and conned. I want you to hear me. We've been tricked and conned into believing that if we come together and want to be together, somehow this represents reverse racism. But this is what even black people will tell you this foolishness, brother. Even black people will tell you this foolishness. Oh, why do we all have to be together? Why we need black school? Why? Because it's called self-interest. The song says the self-preservation, self-determination. The song says God helps the child who has his own. And as long as we don't have nothing that we can call our own, we can't go and deal with no other people and expect to get respect. Nobody's gonna, you can't go to a negotiating table with two empty hands and expect to be respected. Did you know that we got to have some black power?
Yes.
No, that sounded really weak.
We need enough of that.
Did you know that we got to have some black power?
Yes.
You know the Asian people have got Asian power?
Yeah.
You know Chinese people have got Chinese power? Yeah. Jewish people got Jewish power? Where's the black power? The Asian man, look, you got some Asian man in this country, they're so powerful that they wanna join the police force. They don't even have to put on the helmet. Just put the badge on the turban. That's power. But Rastaman find himself in the courtroom tomorrow. The judge tell him, remove that thing from off your head. The Rastaman said, no, this is my crown. As Ras, the judge will tell the bailiff, hold him down and remove it.
Contempt of court.
Because it's disrespect. Why? Because the Rastaman don't have power. He has power, but he only has power in unity with the other brethren. Whether we call ourselves Muslim, Christian, Rasta, we have to come together and recognize our brotherhood. We are brothers.
Every day,
the black man is almost extinct. We gotta sort this thing out, brothers.
Man is an endangered species.
He is an endangered species.
You better believe it.
And so, in conclusion, I'm saying, brothers and sisters, whilst we do have our children in these institutions, we have to hold these people to the lies that they have written on paper. They've written lies on paper, and the lies on paper talk about equality. The lies on paper talk about the lies on paper talk about equality, talks about diversity. So we have to hold them to what they say. But understand what I'm saying. What they say and what they write on paper is not worth the paper it is written on. These are liars and deceivers. And when we come out here and we tell the headmaster that he should feel shame, understand he feels no shame. They have no shame. No shame. You can't tell the police to feel ashamed for killing black people in custody. They have no shame. Don't waste your time trying to reform the irreformable. If they were reformable, we wouldn't still as black people be looking for equal rights in 2017 after over 400 years of slavery and destruction of our humanity. And a government that mocks the idea of repairing the damage. We wouldn't have to be doing that. We wouldn't have to be facing neo-colonialism where they're now still trying to force their way back into Africa, having murdered a man called Muammar Gaddafi on the pretext of opening up an avenue into Africa where they can once again exploit Africa and black people. This is the reality that we face, family. And so I want to say to you, whether you appreciate it or not, there's a war on. We're at war. We're a people at war. And we got to start being a lot more. Stop this nonsense about, oh, in the nation and the too militant. You better get militant. You better get militant. See, because David Attenborough will show you on his programs the ant. And he'll tell you about the militancy of the ant. You try to tell me say ant more superior than you as a man? Come on, man. He's a Jamaica. I come from Jamaica. In Jamaica, we have some ants called soldier ants.
Soldier ants.
They're not playing. Them ants don't play. You get in their way. They bring down big creatures. Why? Because they work together. And so we got to become more soldierly in our bearing, brothers, sisters. You black women, you carried us for 9 months in your wombs. And if the truth be told, you've been carrying us for the last 400 years on your backs. I'm talking to the black women. The black women have been warriors. They've been out there on the front line. But it's time now for the black man to take his rightful place. We've got to take responsibility once again for our homes and for our families.
Yes.
And I'm saying, brothers, when the call comes, when you hear the call, there are people, they don't like me in this country, okay? I want you to hear me well. The government don't like me.
That's a good club.
The government don't like me. And I don't care.
Yes.
And I'm not afraid. This ain't no bravado, no big talk business. You understand? But what I'm saying is, when you see a man like me stand up for now nearly 35 years in this struggle, when we call you, brothers, you've got to come out because we've got work to do. We cannot do it by ourselves.
No, get no younger.
The enemy is a coward. I want you to hear me. He is a coward. He likes to pick us off one by one. But when we stand together, the scripture says, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Come on, brothers. Let's try this. Let's try some real unity. Let's try some real unity. And it's not about no foolishness. When I take no machete and march by no number 10. This is about an internalized focus where we as men come together and we start to build a genuine community that will capture the imagination of our people and win back our youth. We've got to get back our youth. There's a huge divide between black youth and black elders. This cannot be allowed to continue. We've got to win back our women. Can I get a witness on that, sisters?
You know.
The sisters are looking for a good man, them can't find one. We got to win them back, brothers. And the way we do that is by becoming men again.
Yeah.
And we can't become men as individuals, doing our own little individual thing. We got to come together and we got to become that team again. And so, brothers, I'm really imploring you. I came out here today not to disrespect those of you who have come here. I came here to stand with you in solidarity. But I know I want you to hear me, I know that this ain't gonna change a damn thing. What we're doing ain't gonna change them one iota. But we got stuff that will change their behavior. And that's what we got to get together as men to discuss. Okay? Because we wanna make a difference now. This time that we're living in, as I close, Brother Minka, this time that we're living in, believe it or not, it's our time. Do you know that the powers that be know the time? They know the time. And that's why more and more you see our youth being targeted.
All right.
More and more you see our youth dying because they know the time. And so, brothers, sisters, please, let's really come together, not reacting to school expulsions, not reacting to deaths in custody, not reacting to murders on the street, but becoming a proactive people who call our gatherings and our meetings because we determined that we're going to meet to plan a future for ourselves. Does that make sense?
Our own agenda.
We got to set our own agenda. I encourage you, keep it up. I respect you, I honor you, and I really hope that all of us will recognize that, you know, this is not rhetoric, man. I'm saying this is our time. The enemy knows this. They know this. And we mustn't waste time, we mustn't waste our energy on causes that we can't necessarily make a difference in. But there are things we can do.
We have various Black African initiatives in different parts of London, in fact, in different parts of the country. We have Saturday schools that has been running for the period of 40 years. Why have we got Saturday schools that's been running for 40 years and then them get shut down? It is because we don't see them as valuable institutions in our community. We rather take the children them, go football, on Saturday, go in the park. And you're fighting with your own children. I'm fighting with my son. Because he wants to go and play football and don't want to come Saturday school. Yeah? And you go to the park and you see all them black man them and them a shout, go on, go on. Hoping that the child would turn a jester for the entertainment industry. Because that's all you are, is a jester. And we gesturing here now. Joke thing. You imagine this now, and me knows enough people see it on social media, but it hasn't come to their doorstep. Sunday, low drummers, low. Sunday, they murdered my friend's son in Croydon again. 2 months ago, I went to the funeral of another one of my friend's son, 14. 2 weeks after that, they murdered my cousin, 30-year-old. These are all been done by the hands of our people. Now we know who the root of the problem is. Because we will never let the enemy off. Britain has made its living, has carved out an international economic commerce where they are the 5th largest economy in the world. Now look at this. How does Little Britain, a little island, them are Somali in the world, how them is 5th largest economy in the world and 2nd largest arms dealer?
Come on, brother, come on.
Come on!
Second only to America.
Second only to their child, the United States of America.
Come on, brother.
Eh? Little Britain, whose GDP, gross domestic product, tuned to the nearly 3 trillion sterling. Most of that is arms. Because war is good business.
For them, that's right. Murder.
You never hear me say, war good business.
That's right, murder.
And right now, Britain, France, and the United States are at the forefront
That's right.
of destabilizing Africa again.
That's right. And I plan more war.
Now you would have heard the news about the soldier, the United States soldier, who got killed in Niger.
Come on.
The other day. But all you'll hear is about what Trump said to the wife. And Trump was right. Him know why he was there. Me agree with him. What they didn't tell you, it was 4 of them. And listen to this. They say they were ambushed. Notice, whenever European forces get outflanked, out-engineered, out-shoot, out-maneuvered, them get ambushed. But when them do it, what them call it? Strategic development. You see, brothers and sisters, family of the world, coming on, people are live stream and do all kind of streaming business. The Europeans are a menace to mankind. They can't help themselves.
Tell them, brother.
They cannot help themselves. Now some people say that is racist. Well, is that race me I talk about? Yeah? They will even kill their own people for their own ill-begotten gains.
Tell them again.
My brother told you that, you know, they were doing this for 400 years. No, they were doing it longer than that, because they were doing it to themselves first. That's why they could so easily come and destroy and maim and rape and pillage other civilizations, because they were doing it to themselves first. Now, if I'm telling a lie, I got the evidence. All you have to do is go down to London Bridge and go to what them called London Dungeons. Who was they torturing in there? They were practicing on poor white people. And this is what they do. They don't care about their own. Look, you know, people have got our 5th largest economy in the world, and people have got 4 banks. Eh? In the 5th largest economy in the world.
Ofsted stated that education should be available to all. That includes Rastafarians. That includes people with locks, and that includes people with braids. The reason why Working Action Group, with Eve, with TCTK Media, and also with Cheryl, have got together to make this protest possible is because we've all got to have a voice. We all have to start standing up against discrimination. This is discrimination. This uniform policy, which is why we're here today, is unlawful. It is unlawful. It is against the law to discriminate against someone based on their religion. Rastafari is a religion. It's also a way of life, the same way as every religion has a way of life. And our locks is the tenet of our religion and is sacred. And on no occasion should anybody demand that we should have to cut our hair to meet their uniform policy, which does not interfere with their ability to learn
or teach.
It does not interfere their ability to understand. Their religion does not stop them from being educated. That is paramount. And that is why we're here today, to say this has to stop now. This has to end now. This is important that everybody take this mic today. Everybody, I want everybody to come and say why they're here. Everybody here. I want everybody to have their say. This isn't the dominion of any one person. This is the dominion of all. This is for you to have your voice, 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 you to have your voice. Everybody, Minka, you to have your voice. Right? So, I just want you to know, yeah, that we as Working Action Group appreciate your time and effort coming here today. And I want you to help us to ensure that we can work with Cheryl and others to ensure that the law is upheld. The school is in conflict with the Equality Act. The school is in conflict with the Human Rights Act. They are unlawful, and this is unfair for a child to have to suffer such inhumane treatment, being put in isolation and being made to read a Bible. Why should he have to prove who he is? Why should he be put in isolation because of what he looks like?
That's segregation.
Why should he be put in isolation because of his religion? Why should he have to leave the school because they refuse to let him in unless he cuts his locks? How is that right?
No.
Is that right?
No.
Is that right?
No.
Is that right?
No.
Their school is being unlawful in enforcing this unfair, and completely discriminatory uniform policy. They're discriminating against his rights, and by discriminating against his rights, they're discriminating against all of our rights.
That's right.
And that's all I want to say is that there are refreshments, teas, coffee, soups provided for you. And, you know, we got to keep working together. Today, I would like everybody's number for everybody that is here, because we will meet again in order to take this forward. We have to have judicial review. We have to have judicial review to undo this policy. We're going to challenge this policy. Yeah? No locks, no braids. No locks, no braids. No locks, no braids. No locks, no braids. No locks, no braids.
Racist.
No locks, no braids.
Racist.
It's against our human rights.
Shit.
It's against our rights as human beings. I'd like to now introduce a lady who has been on the front line fighting for the rights of our children, fighting for the rights of our children's agenda, for the children that have been excluded from school, for the children whose parents have been targeted unfairly, for children whose parents don't have a voice. I would tell everybody today, create a parent action group and work together to challenge the system. Go to Dr. Wilson at Middlesex University and ask for a diversity equality health kit, right? Because this diversity health check will make them have to look at their policies and procedures. Without further ado, can you all please give a big round of applause for Cheryl Phoenix. Thank you.
Thank you, sis. Greetings, everyone. Hi, some of you do and some of you don't know. My name's Cheryl Phoenix and I'm the founder of the Black Child Agenda, tackling the schools to prison pipeline. Now, today's case is just one of nearly 2,000 that I deal with regards to racial discrimination faced by black children in the education system. Now, basically, the reason why I started it, my son, who was the reason I started the Black Child Agenda, was here this morning. He popped in, I dragged him out of bed at 7:30 and said, you need to come down because this was you 6 years ago. And he did come down. You saw it, those of you that were here earlier would have seen him here today. Now, the Black Child Agenda started because of the fact that when I was in my local area, I see young black boys, particularly on the streets, but they haven't been excluded. I see young black girls with natural hair out and not in school, but they haven't been excluded. So the policies that schools are actually living by, the fact that this is an academy and a church school, they actually have a jurisdiction, they don't have no jurisdiction to do what they're doing, number one. This is not just a London problem, this is a nationwide problem. This is Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, Bristol, Coventry, it's all over. Like I said, I've got over 2,000 cases. Are you listening to me? 2,000 cases on our books. When they're isolating our children, it's like they're setting them up for the prison cell. When they're discriminating against our children, this is what they're doing in the workplace as well. So we as a community need to do more. We as parents and community members need to do more. We actually have to support more parents like Chikeze's mum, like all the other parents out there. I've got another case like this right now in Birmingham. It came through last week. Rasta, a girl who's got locks again. So it's not just this school, it's schools all up and down the UK. It's schools predominantly in
in London where we are, this is happening. So we need to do more. You guys can Google and find out. The laws are there, the laws are clear. We need to get educated. We do training to make sure that you guys understand when a parent needs to call someone, they can call on you to come and support them at the school. That's what we need more of. We need the action. We need to know that I can phone one of you in the audience and say, right, there's something in East London. Right, there's someone in South London. Can you go down and represent? That's what we need, the action every single day. Being here is one thing, but what happens when we go home this afternoon? What's going to happen when we go back to work tomorrow? We need to have you guys active. As Brother Leo said earlier, we need you to do the works, and the works start with us. Us being here today is commendable because it's freezing. It is freezing, but we have to continue. That's all I really wanted to say. I didn't want to take up too much time. Thank you very much.